Hi, this is Gwen, your emotional freedom coach and inner child advocate with Your Strongest Life. And you may notice I'm still sitting in the same spot that I have been for the last several videos, and that's because I broke my knee in April, and I've been sitting here propping it up for a while. So it's still healing, and hopefully soon I'll be able to have some different scenery behind me. But today I wanted to talk about, in honor of PTSD Awareness Month, June, I'd like to talk about the differences between PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and C-PTSD, or complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And PTSD, as we've talked about before, is typically, the cause of it is typically from experiencing or witnessing one traumatic experience. And the symptoms include intensive memories and flashbacks, but the memories aren't just memories in our mind, they're physical memories from our body. And when we get triggered, it's like we're experiencing that same feeling from years ago right now. And nightmares and severe anxiety and avoidance of anything, if we got in a car accident and we avoid driving, or we won't drive with someone in a car, or, negative changes in our thinking and our moods. And C-PTSD is typically what I specialize in, which is childhood trauma. It typically begins in childhood or adolescence, and it can include many types of ongoing traumas. So it could be physical, sexual, emotional abuse, or neglect. And often the abusers per se aren't strangers. They're very often related. And the symptoms are the same core symptoms as PTSD, and they have additional categories of symptoms such as difficulty controlling the emotions, with anger, intense sadness. I know that for years prior to doing tapping, I cried all the time. And as the director of a nonprofit at one point, trying to manage my staff with crying, because it's the only thing I knew, that's what my body just automatically did. And now I don't cry nearly as much thanks to tapping. And impaired self-worth and relationship challenges. And the cool thing is tapping it's the specialty for helping people release trauma such as PTSD and C-PTSD. And so I thought I would take a couple minutes and just share some of the just snippet examples of some of the people that I've worked with and have been able to help them with these type of traumas. And again, I'm just sharing a snippet of it. There's so much to tell, and they've given me permission to share it. But one of the examples that really stands out for me is a woman. She was about 40, I believe, when she came to me, and she came to me to help her with some confidence in launching her own business. And she had been diagnosed with PTSD and bipolar, and she had gone to talk therapy for over 20 years. She had done hypnotherapy. She had gone to Narcotics Anonymous for 8.5 years, and she'd been taking a lot of antidepressive medicines and medicines for what she was struggling with. She was having 30 to 40 panic attacks a day. and she was really struggling. And we worked together for 9 weeks. That's it, 9 weeks. And we did quite a bit of inner child work with trauma around her parents divorcing when she was 3 years old. And one had moved to the other side of the country. And so they had her on a plane at 3 years old, flying back and forth to visit her families on either side of the coast. And I'm sorry, either side of the country. And it was really traumatizing for her. And then another big trauma for her was she was molested at age 5. And there were several other things that we worked on. And she left me a testimonial that says, I came to Gwen to get some confidence to launch my own business, and working with her changed my life completely. I was having 30 to 40 panic attacks a day for years, and after 9 sessions of tapping, I stopped having 98% of them. And I talked to her yesterday and to catch up, to see, what was happening. And she said she was doing really, really well. And I asked about the panic attacks, and she said, not even one per month. She said, I'd say only a few a month when I'm really highly stressed. No joke. And it's been 2.5 years. So that made me feel really good, that we were able to help her with tapping. And another one of my client friends escaped from a religious cult when she was, if I remember correctly, 27. And she was a little older now, but she kept feeling angry all the time. It was like everything triggered her anger. And she had gone to regular therapy for 10 years, and the therapist told her that, she literally said this, we rehashed and rehashed and rehashed your childhood. We don't need to rehash it anymore. Now it's a matter of choice. That's what she told her. And my client said it felt like she basically threw her hands up and kind of washed her hands of her. And then she ended up moving and leaving. And so a mutual friend connected us, and we started working together. And with the tapping, how she described it is we uncovered all these layers of actual trauma and pain that was from her early childhood. And she said that what she discovered is that the only safe emotion for me as a child to have in my family dynamics was anger. And man, we worked once a week for 9 months. And she said in 9 months we've uncovered and released so much stuff. Now I'm able to slow myself down and process in a totally different way versus immediately being defensive and mad. And we went on to work together for longer, and she's doing amazing. That also makes my heart very happy. And then another woman that I worked with, we were tapping on her job and her business and what she was doing with her business and the places she was getting stuck. And as we were tapping, the memory that came up for her was the time when she was in her 20s, her early 20s, and she was gang raped. And so we started tapping on this. And when we first started talking about it, she could barely talk about it. It was way too emotional. It was really triggering. And we were able to calm her nervous system down enough in 9 weeks for her to be able to tell the entire story, all the details, and not get triggered. It gave her so much relief, allowing her to focus on her business in a completely different manner. So, if you're interested in learning more about tapping and PTSD and C-PTSD, I have a special going out for all introductory sessions. You could save $50. They're only $75 now, from now until the end of June. So please reach out if you have any questions, and I look forward to tapping with you.